Good morning to those who listen. It's November 18th, 2025, 1:49 a.m. And this is part 3 of the predictive programming in The Simpsons. First, right off the bat, is Bart. He's holding up 3 fingers over on this side and 2 fingers on this side for 32. I think that might relate to the 32nd president, which was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, FDR. And FDR was the one who went through the Great Depression, and that's the timeline of The Simpsons, the Quimby guy coming over in 1921, and then all the way through the Depression and all of that. When he says, "Just remember, it's all just a game," like the whole thing with the politics is just a game. And then it goes into 1983. In this one, he was running for the governor's race in 83. For what it's worth, again, they used Donkey Kong again and the barrels. And then the name again, which has all the names of all the people in the family tree of Joseph Patrick Kennedy Sr., all but Quimby. But you could just replace that with Kennedy. This whole thing is all about the Kennedys and the Shrivers, but mainly the Kennedys. And lots of mentions of bridges. I never did find the third bridge, though, where they mentioned bridge. But I think there was 3. And then they play the crazy song, the Oompa song, but read the words to this. Stare at the sun, burn your eyeballs, lots of fun. Is that about the sun simulator? I thought that was kind of weird. 100-year cycle. History. See, it keeps just repeating itself. So that's maybe what they're saying here is history is going to repeat itself because there is lots of connections with the Kennedys and Trump and everything that's happening. It was supposed to be like a golden era back then, and now it's supposed to be a golden era now. Is Trump gonna? I mean, we've had attempts on his life already. JFK got shot, and then Robert Kennedy got shot, and then Ted Kennedy ran off a bridge. It's like, what's going on? And then don't forget there was the other one, the Joseph Jr., who was a little bit older than John Kennedy. He died in a mysterious plane crash. And then we had John Kennedy Jr. He got killed in that plane crash. A lot of weird stuff. Eat some glass, hurts to pass. Lots of fun. All right, so now that the part 3 was really short compared to the other 2 parts, so we'll go back. I want to go back to the CERN part of the possible Mandela effects. So the microfiching, she was looking at microfilm of old newspaper articles. So I was coming to the conclusion that maybe the AI is using all the old newspaper articles and changing all of the history in it. But here's where it came, where it looks like CERN. See how it looks like CERN? So I looked up some things here. Okay, so microfiching is not a word. Microfiche is, though. So it's the film, and they've been digitizing it. So this is from ChatGPT, by the way. So I put CERN in there too. And it's really strange, is CERN has archives on microfiche, on microfilm. So they have a whole bunch of things at CERN where they still have it on microfilm, which I thought was kind of weird. It's their stuff. It's their experiment data, their research and stuff, and they have it from the 50s through the 80s. And they have many scientific institutions, NASA, Doe Labs, National Archives used it, all the way to the late 1990s. So it was trying to have a connection between the two, but it seems like there wasn't. So I asked more questions. There's CIS records, Scientific Information Service records from the 50s through the 90s, and it's all included. Then they have from theirs is 1954 to 1991. And they have all their statistics and memos and documents and all that stuff archived on this microfilm still to this day. Some of it's been digitized, but they have a lot of it that isn't. And if I can find it in here somewhere, it has a number. So it says they have 1 kilometers of records, which is, I'm not sure how much that is. It has it here somewhere, don't it? But apparently you can look up this stuff too. So it asks to look up current archive inventories. So it says they have 2,000 shelf meters of files, letters, reports, notes. 1954 to 1991, 113 boxes per their archive guide. Apparently you can look this up yourself. I think it would be a really hard task to do. And see, all this stuff is still on microfilm, microfiche, and they haven't digitized it yet. So they have a lot, which is weird. You think they would have done that. But this is where I came up with possibility that maybe CERN is causing the Mandela effect, and then they're taking history and then they're changing it. So where's that one thing? There's something, here we go. So we got examples of the catalog include named record groups described as microfilms, LINAC 1 and 2, microfilms in the CERN Archives catalog. The entry was updated in 2023. And they still have analog holdings in their archive. So I thought that was kind of strange. So then I decided, okay, let's look up LINAC 1 and 2 and see what comes up with that. So I tried to throw in there, is there anything that they got stored on History, Pop Culture, Bible? And it didn't come up with nothing. But when I looked up LINAC 1 and 2, it comes up with linear accelerator at CERN. So is this something? And here's a picture. Kind of looked like what was on the Simpsons. And then archives. Archives. So then it's got a whole bunch of stuff here. 1957 to 2010. And LINAC 1 was early 50s. It served as an injector for the proton synchrotron, and it had its first beam in 1958, fully commissioned in 1959. And here's another weird thing: for 33 years until it retired. And then we had the Liniac 2 starting up. And it went from 78, so it went 30 years, 88, 98, 08, 40 years. And then replaced by Liniac 4. So again, I don't know if anybody can come up with something for this. Here's some more other links that I clicked into. And it's got a whole catalog of things you can look into, the history of CERN and all the timelines of everything. There's a lot. There's a lot. Did you know that CERN created the World Wide Web? So they created the World Wide Web in 1989. That's something. So then it shows the history of that. The CERN effect. Like that kind of weird. 2016. And that would have been around the time that I noticed the Mandela effect. Let's take a look at that. It's weird that they called it the CERN effect. 60-something years. So I don't know. Just all the stuff that I looked up about CERN. Oh, that was the birth of the web. And then CERN 60 years. 60 years of science for peace. 1954. So that would actually be 61. Founded in the aftermath of the Second World War. What is the universe made of? So I don't know, just some weird stuff with CERN. Thought maybe that might have something to do with Simpsons episode and this and this. Wait a second. I don't know, it was just really strange, the whole thing. So, I don't know. This is definitely predictive programming. This is one of the most I've ever seen. Usually they have, just a few little things in episodes that you can say is predictive programming, hidden messages, all that. But this was the whole episode. And I'm telling you, it's all related to Quimby. And it's weird that Quimby, his voice sounds just like John F. Kennedy. So, I don't know. I'm going to have to go through all this stuff again and make one really short video. I mean, not short, but, one concise video. Because sorry, all these videos were all over the place, but I wanted to hurry up and put it out there while I was still fresh in my mind, so I wouldn't forget things. So I kind of did a bunch of videos. Whew. But there was Bridges, Kennedy. They have all the names of that, and I think that Jack Schlossberg. I think they're predicting that he's gonna win that election. He'll be 33 years old. A lot of 33s everywhere in this whole thing. Bridges. They mentioned Bridges, and then they showed it's just like everything. I don't know what would be the purpose of them changing this character, Joe Quimby, and making him like John F. Kennedy. And the whole thing is all about the Kennedys and all the scandals and the Bridges. And I don't know, it was just weird. So there had to be a reason for it. So that's why I wanted to have some people commenting on this. because I'm not sure on anything either. But the Mandela effect was also with all these words. Turnip. So when he got to America, this is where all the words were made up. Now here's where I think I'll go over this again, the first one. Dunglark, that doesn't even exist. There is no word Dunlark, so we'll see if that pops up later in the dictionary. And the gag economy, I think it was like a gig economy. So then they came up with, this is the whole thing too. It all related to, he was Catholic, Irish Catholic in here. And then the whole Kennedy family was Irish Catholic. So it's like everything in The Simpsons was exactly everything that was the Kennedy family. So we have Beetler, Bodger. These are all words that do exist, but they're like old words that are never used anymore. So let's see if those vanish out of the dictionary. Coal heaver, Garthman. Hello girl, lob lolly boy. Those actually existed, but they're like over 100 years old. Not used no more. But then there was a couple right here, Prop Bobby and Shrimp Shonger. Those do not exist in the dictionary. So maybe those might get added to the dictionary as a Mandela effect. All right, so that's it. Thanks for watching. God bless.